going to solve some problem based on steam table. So in this particular region I have written needed formulae for solving this steam table problems. All this formulae already I have explained. That is, first one, that X nothing but dryness fraction or quality of steam, that is mg by ma plus mg, that means mass of dry steam to the mass of the mixture. Then coming with specific volume, specific enthalpy, specific entropy and specific internal energy, they are having same kind of relation. And how the relation can be derived, I have shown you people for the specific volume. That same kind of derivation can be adopted for finding rest of the properties. So you have to memorize this particular format of the formulae. And S soup is nothing but the specific entropy for the superheated vapor. It can be defined like this expression: Sg plus Cp ln T soup minus T set. That expression, how it can be derived, that I have also shown you. That point of time, during the integration time, I have missed one term, that dt by T should be there at the right side. I have missed the denominator T, so that's why it should be corrected by yourself. Okay. Now this particular thing, it is nothing but the Charles law. Charles law, keeping the pressure constant, we know that volume is directly proportional to the temperature. So if we reuse that relation for two state point, that is the steam is saturated condition and steam is in superheated condition, then we can build this relation, that is Vg by V soup, that means specific volume of dry saturated vapor to the superheated vapor, is equals to T sat by T soup, that means saturation temperature by superheated temperature. It's the simple principle of Charles law. Volume is proportional to temperature if we maintain the pressure constant. Okay, so these formulae we are going to use for solving the numericals of steam table or steam table problems. The problem is looking like this: a sample of wet steam. The wet steam means obviously some dryness fraction is there at a pressure of 15 kg F per square centimeter. So first of all, the pressure P1 is given, that is, or P is given rather say, 15 kgf per square centimeter. So that is kgf per square centimeter. You can convert that unit. Basically kgf per square centimeter is nothing but the kilonewton per meter square. Kgf per square centimeter is nothing but the equal with kilonewton per meter square. You can use check that particular relation, kgf, that means kg force, that is nothing but 9.81 newton, or approximately it is equal to 10 newton. Okay, so kgf per square centimeter, if you convert that unit into SI unit like kilonewton per meter square, will be equate with that particular thing. You can check that particular one. Just try to convert that unit from kgf to newton using that, then from centimeter square to meter square. Then after switching all those things, you can get that kgf per square centimeter is nothing but kilonewton per meter square. Understood? Then the dryness fraction is given, that is x 0.06, that is given for the wet steam. Okay, now you have to find enthalpy, volume, entropy, internal energy per kg of steam. That means they all are basically specific enthalpy. So you have to find specific enthalpy. Whatever we are going to find, that is h, small h, then specific volume, small v, then entropy, small s, then internal energy, small u. All this thermodynamic property you have to find. Obviously you have to use the steam table over here. Same problem can be done for using the Mollier chart if some informations are given like so. Okay, so for this problem we have to use the steam table, because Mollier chart is not allowed to solve problems in exam purpose. So that's why you have to much more conversant with steam table. So it is wet steam, it is being told. So you have to find the saturated steam table with respect to pressure table, because pressure information is given to you. So find the steam table, or rather say find saturated steam table, okay, write the full one. Saturated steam table with respect to pressure. So pressure table you have to find with respect to which pressure? With respect to P equals to 15 kilonewton per meter square. If your steam table is given in kilonewton per meter square, it is also known as kilopascal. Okay, so if your steam table is given in kilopascal, it is good. If it is not given in kilopascal, if it is given in bar, then you have to convert that kilonewton per meter square into bar. So we know that bar is nothing but 1 bar is nothing but 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square means 100 kilonewton per meter square, isn't it? Just divide that thing by 1000. Okay, so 100 kilonewton per meter square, that is equals to 1 bar. Then this 15 kilonewton per meter square, it is nothing but 0.15 bar. This unit conversion should be very clear to all of you, because units is a very important thing for a mechanical engineer. So use the particular unit in which your steam table is given. So according to this particular pressure value, find all those needed thermodynamic property. So while you are going to find that small h, so the small h at weight steam, so I can write h weight because that is in weight condition. So h weight can be written like this expression, that is hf plus x into hfg. Okay, so that way that hf value and hfg value both should be coming from the steam table, and the steam table should be found with respect to 0.15 bar. In your steam table, obviously hg in your steam table with respect to 0.15 bar, with respect to 0.15 bar, find the steam table. From there hf will be gettable and hg also is given there. So subtract them, hg minus hf, they will give you the hfg value. Okay, so all these units are given in kilojoule per kg. You can see over there, they will be given in kilojoule per kg. So just with respect to that pressure value, put all those values over there, and dryness fraction is also given to us. From there you can get the value of wet steam enthalpy, specific enthalpy. If your steam in your steam table, suppose 0.1 is given enthalpy values and 0.2 is given values, so 0.15 will be the simple average. But suppose if you are trying to find out 0.17 or 18 values you are trying to find out, then what we are going to do, we have to do some interpolation. Suppose these values I am showing you the interpolation. Suppose 0.1, these are the pressure value, suppose, and these are the enthalpies values I am taking. Okay, so suppose this 0.1 enthalpy value, according to 0.1 bar pressure, suppose the enthalpy is given 0.2731 kilojoule per kg, and 0.2 is showing the 0.3121. I am taking all those arbitrary value. Okay, now you are trying to find out 0.18, however it is, you have to find out this one. I am taking it like a x. So what will be the interpolation procedure? If you are trying to find out this x value, so you have to write interpolation principle. I am wiping out this part. So x, if you are trying to find out, so x, suppose minus 0.3121 to 0.3121 minus 0.2731 equals to, I am equating that x corresponds 0.18 and 3121 corresponds 0.2. then 0.3121 corresponding 0.2, and 0.2731 corresponding 0.1. Just you have to do this kind of interpolation. From there you can get the value of x easily. That will be the enthalpy value according to your any pressure value in between. They are lying in between these two. So that is the actual interpolation or arithmetical interpolation. And you can find any arbitrary value, whatever it is lying between two known values. Okay, so using this kind of interpolation you can find the thermodynamic property at any pressure level as well as any temperature level. Okay, so from steam table, after getting this value of HF and HFG, easily you can find the value of H weight, that is the enthalpy or specific enthalpy of the wet steam. Similarly, if you are trying to find out the other thermodynamic property like specific volume, also specific volume, we are using the same kind of formula. Just you have to find the Vf value and Vfg value from steam table with respect to that same pressure level, and put those values on that particular relation V weight that we are trying to find out equals to Vf plus x into Vfg. Use those values over here and get the values in kilojoule per kg unit. Similarly, entropy also can be found out in the same manner. That is, S weight that we are trying to find out equals to Sf plus x into Sfg. Again, take those values from the steam table itself and put them over here. Sfg value also will not be given, so that way Sfg is nothing but Sg minus Sf. Similarly, here also Vfg equals to Vg minus Vf. Now coming to the in internal energy also can be find out using this formula. And if in your steam table internal UF or UFG value or UG value are not given, some of the steam tables are there where internal energy values are not given. If it is not given, then internal energy also can be find out using this particular relation, H equals to U plus PV. That relation we know. Enthalpy, specific enthalpy equals to internal energy plus flow work. This relation is known to us. From there you can find U equals to H minus PV. Okay, so now if you are trying to find out your dryness fraction, internal energy, the U weight that is asking for us, that is H weight minus P into V weight. That formula also can be find out. So H weight already you have find out, that means this one, and V weight also you have find out earlier using that particular formula. So just put all those formulae over there. From there also you can get the value of U weight, that is asking over here. If your steam table providing you the value of UF and UG, then direct use this particular formula. And if it is not giving you, then you have to use that particular formula. From there also you can get the value of U weight. Mind it, here V weight will be nothing but Vf plus x into Vfg. That already we have find out. And H weight is nothing but Hf plus x into Hfg. That is also known to us. And P is given for you. That is, now here you have to use the unit in kilonewton per meter square, 15 kilonewton per meter square. Why I am saying so? Because if you put the bar unit over there, then bar and the specific volume will coming with kilojoule per kg. So bar cannot be calculated with multiplied with kilojoule per kg. Are you understanding what I am saying? If the P is in bar unit and specific volume will come in kilojoule per kg, so bar cannot be multiplied with kilojoule per kg. That's why you have to convert that bar into kilonewton per meter square. Okay, so kilonewton per meter square should be taken while you are calculating this one. Understood? So that way, that if you put all those values over there, from there also you can find easily the internal energy or specific internal energy for that particular wet steam. So try to find all those values for that particular problem and get back to me if you have any kind of confusion regarding this. So we can also tally the answers with you and mine. try to solve it and let me know is there any problem for you or not. Next we are moving to the next problem. So now the next problem from the steam table statement is look like this: determine the quantity of heat required to produce 1 kg steam. So mass is given 1 kg, mass is given 1 kg, so we have to find out all those things for specific term while the mass is 1 kg at a pressure of 6 bar. So I am considering the pressure that is 6 bar. It is given 6 bar pressure at a temperature of 25 degrees centigrade. So temperature is also given, that is 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, now the following condition we have to find the quantity of heat. Determine the quantity of heat required to produce 1 kg steam at a pressure of 6 bar at a temperature of 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, under the following conditions. So we have to produce a steam of 1 kg at a pressure of 6 bar and at a temperature of 25 degrees centigrade under these following three conditions A, B, C, and you have to find that what amount of heat is required actually to produce that steam. First condition is given when the steam is wet having dryness fraction is 0.9. So first condition for which you have to find the amount of heat. So that is given, the condition is given dryness fraction is 0.9. So 0.9 dryness fraction means 90% steam is dry obviously. So from 90% steam is dry, from here you have to produce a steam at 6 bar pressure and 25 degrees centigrade temperature. Okay, and that amount of heat you have to find out. So from this particular condition, while the dryness fraction is given, that means the steam is in wet condition obviously. Okay, so that way the total heat can be find out, total heat for this particular condition, and that is if I write it by H wet, it is very easily I can write this expression. So from this expression we need to know these two values, this one and this one. Okay, so that way from using the steam table, so amount of specific enthalpy and amount of latent heat, that is HFG, both of these values can be find out with respect to which pressure, that is 6 bar pressure. Find the steam table or saturated steam table with respect to pressure, that means that you have to go with the pressure table, and from there find the value of HF. Okay, and find the value of Hg. These two values you have to collect from there, and Hg minus Hf will give you the value of HFG. Okay, so put that HFG value over there, then you are able to get that H wet, that is the specific enthalpy for that particular wet steam, which is at this 0.9 dryness fraction. Okay, so 0.9 dryness fraction, the enthalpy value is this one, it is known to us. Now you have to water actually available at 25 degrees centigrade, that is given, water is available at 25 degrees centigrade. So heat exists in that particular condition while the water is in 25 degrees centigrade. So I can write that heat exists at 25 degrees centigrade of water. What amount of heat actually stored in that water? That is nothing but Cp into dt, or rather we can write m into Cp into dt. That is very well known formula. Mass of the water, specific heat of the water, and change of temperature of that water. So if the mass is 1 kg, then I can put it 1, Cp, that is the specific heat for water, that is 4.18 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. I told you to remind these values to keep in your mind. And the change of temperature, what is the I can say that I am writing try to find out that heat contained in that particular temperature. So at 25 degrees centigrade, so suppose from 0 degree centigrade if I take, so from 0 degree centigrade to 25 degree centigrade to temperature raise, what amount of heat is existing there? So that way you have to multiply with 25. I can consider by 0. If we convert it into Kelvin, then Kelvin difference or the centigrade difference, they will be remain same. So from 0 degree centigrade to 25 degree centigrade, if the temperature is being raised, then what amount of heat actually exists in that particular water? This value will give you the amount of heat stored in that particular water. Okay, now that is the amount of heat. If this value is coming 104.5 kilojoule, so this value is nothing but the amount of heat stored exists at 25 degree centigrade, exist or stored I can say. Now from 25 degree centigrade, the amount of heat it is stored, that is 4.5 kilojoule. I can say if it is for 1 kg, then I can say kilojoule per kg. Okay, now additional what amount of heat is required? You have to find out that where determine the quantity of heat required. So additional heat what will be required to achieve this particular condition, that is 0.9 dryness fraction. At 0.9 dryness fraction, the heat is already known to us, that is the enthalpy is known to us. That value is coming like 2547.18. You can find it out, 2547.18 kilojoule per kg. What does this mean? That means that is the amount of heat it is present at steam while it is 0.9 dryness fraction. And initially while the water is 25 degrees centigrade, that point of time the heat stored in that water, that is 104.5. now you have to reach from here to there, so what amount of heat is additional you have to supply. So that way I can find the heat required to achieve the state. Which state? This state, that is dryness fraction 0.9 state. So what amount of heat required? So 2547.18 minus 104.5, that will give you the amount of heat required for unit mass, that is coming like after subtracting 2442.68 kilojoule per kg. So what does this mean? That means this amount of heat you have to additionally supply to achieve or to reach the state point x equals to 0.9. From where? From this 25 degree centigrade water, because at 25 degree centigrade the heat exists or heat stored in the water, that is 104.5 kilojoule per kg, and you have to reach up to here. So from here up to here, what amount of additional heat is required? That is this amount. You can ask one question, that why we are finding enthalpy only, sir? Because we know that at a constant pressure the heat is nothing but the enthalpy. That's why the total quantity of heat at constant pressure is nothing but the amount of enthalpy you are asking for. So that is for condition A, while the steam is at dryness fraction 0.9, that is the amount of heat you have to supply more. Okay, now going with the part B problem. Part B, that is told that when the steam is at dry saturated, so when the steam is at dry saturated condition, that point of time the enthalpy whatever it is stored, it is condition B. While the steam is dry, that point of time you can find that H that the enthalpy at the dry condition, it is written as Hg. Okay, that is a saturated condition, and Hg value obviously you can get from the steam table with respect to that 6 bar pressure. Already you have got this Hg value, so that is the actually heat stored in that particular dry saturated steam. Now the steam is water is available at 25 degrees centigrade, you know, and at 25 degrees centigrade what amount of heat stored in that water, that already I have find out earlier at part E. That is I have written that HW I can write, that is 104.5 kilojoule per kg already we have find out. So now from here up to here, that Hg value with respect to 6 bar from steam table, it is coming 2755, 2755.7. So now from here to there you have to raise the heat. So amount of heat required again, that should be 2755.7 minus 104.5. So that will give you the amount of heat required to raise the state of the steam from 25 degrees centigrade up to this dry saturated condition. Understood? And for the part C it is given that steam is at superheated condition at a pressure of 250 degrees centigrade. So superheated condition means after dry saturated steam. So superheated condition, the enthalpy value can be expressed by like this: H sup is nothing but Hg, that means enthalpy at dry saturated condition, plus Cp into T sup minus T sat. Why it is so? Because it is the same thing, that is heat is equals to mCp dt. That same thing I am following here also. H is equals to mCp dt. That same formula is used over here. If we consider that mass is 1 kg, then we can omit that m part. Cp is the specific heat and dt is the change of temperature. Why I am writing change of temperature T sup minus T sat? Because from saturation temperature steam is going to reach to the superheated temperature. So obviously the temperature difference should be T sup minus T sat, because T sup obviously will be higher than the T sat. After reaching to T saturation, then additional heat will be required to achieve T superheated temperature. That's why H sup will be coming using this formula, Hg plus Cp into T sup minus T sat. Understood? So Hg value already known to us from steam table, and Cp value Cp value, that's why it is given over here, assuming mean specific heat at superheated steam, that is 2.3 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So that 2.3 should be taken over here. Don't make a mistake by assuming 4.18, because 4.18 specific heat for water only, not for the steam. So 2.3 for the steam, superheated steam, then T sup minus T sat. T sup is given at a constant pressure at 250 degrees centigrade, it is given, and T sat, that is the saturation temperature. Saturation temperature you have to find out. Saturation temperature you have to find out from steam table. From steam table you can get it with respect to that same pressure. Which pressure? 6 bar pressure. Because the superheating steam is also doing that constant pressure process. So again find the steam table with respect to 6 bar pressure, and from there you can get the saturation temperature easily. So now put all those values. T saturation is available to you, T sup is available to you, Cp is given, and Hg previously you have find out. So from there you can get the value of H sup, and it is coming like, I can write the values, you can cross check with mine one. Just do the problem with your own effort and check the answer with mine. 2965.35 kilojoule per kg, 35 kilojoule per kg, that is the superheated enthalpy. Now again you have to find the additional heat required. So what amount of heat is required from 25 degrees centigrade water to reach this state? So again you have to do a subtraction process, that is 2965.35 minus that same, that is the amount of heat stored in the water, that is nothing but 104.5. 104.5. If you do that particular subtraction, you get the answer for part C, that what amount of heat is required to achieve the state from 25 degrees centigrade water up to 250 degrees centigrade of steam. That amount of heat is required to supply more. Okay, that is the whole solution of part A, part B and part C. If you have any confusion, first make it solve with your own steam table, pen and copy, and then if the answer is not matching with me, then reply back or comment onto it, then I can help you more. Okay, now like this way you have to solve more problem using the steam table. Take help from any textbook and try to collect a steam table. If it is possible to collect a hard copy, then collect it. If it is not possible to collect a hard copy, then try to gather a soft copy. Okay, so from there, using any kind of textbook or thermodynamics like Pekenaga will be a better one. Try to solve as many as problem using the steam table as well as using a Mollier chart. Okay, if there is any kind of problem is coming for you, then please let me know that. So that is the last video of module 3. Next we are going to move to start module number 4. Bye from now.